Greetings everyone. It's all about choices, love or fear here. I am going to use traditional tarot today, black and gold, Rider-Waite deck. If you guys hear buzzing in the background, I think it's the fan I use a laptop to record, and I think it's the fan on my laptop. So I do apologize for that interference in sound. Not much I can do about it. So today is Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius for what is needed for your development and growth. Yeah, as I was saying, my Zen Tarot, it needs some clearing. So for a good while. So going to start with Cancer, of course, and see what comes out for your Ascension Rebirth. And for those that are interested, I will be doing individual signs, relationship readings for weekends. I know many are in relationships, and with Mercury in retrograde, where are they going, what's going on with them. So I will look at both sets of energies, blocks, what is in the love energy, what is in the fear energy, what is going on within, what is going on without, how to balance in between. So if you are looking specifically for relationship/love readings, those will be out on weekends. So, but these are to aid you in that forward progression, to go within and heal what is you, so that your relationships, whatever your connections may be, will be healthier and happier and more abundant, because that is the objective of love and fear. Love or fear, not and. So with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to Cancer and get started in what needs to be reborn, what needs to be worked on, what is grace, what needs to be forgiven, all that good stuff. For October 8th today. And I do apologize for being late. Just the energy drain. But, yeah. And the next set for the first 6 will be out tomorrow for the 9th. It is the 8th, isn't it? Yes. So this is for today, October 8th. And for the Cancer through Sagittarius. So, let's see what Cancer. That's weird. I'm getting both fire and moon. Of course, Cancer is ruled by the moon. I don't know if that is that there is some element of a fire sign that is in your chart, or that you are connecting with a fire sign. Guess we'll find out. I feel like you may be repressing something passionate. Either you're not moving forward into a situation, into something that you are passionate about, or there is maybe a connection that you feel passionate toward, and not moving into that, or you are keeping it to yourself. Yeah, you're hiding something, either from yourself or someone else. And the cards are feeling a little hesitant, so there may be some kind of block about this. Fear, of course, about moving toward or into. We'll see what the cards have to say. Cancer. Yeah, I'm getting fire and strong. Actually, I'm getting my witch's tarot deck. And what needs to be transformed or reborn for Cancer, transformation, rebirth, Cancer, transformation, rebirth, Cancer, please, way too many, guys. Shuffle. Resistance and if I were using Osho's Zen, I'm picking up schizophrenia. Which is disorganized. Fire and moon, sun and moon. Huh, that's mine. I'm gonna make sure this is an unbiased reading, guys. Unbiased. My own energy makes it into the readings because they're not for me, they're for the collective. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Heart space essence to get on the correct path. What is the authentic inner truth? And what needs to be released? What needs to be released, please? Cancer, October 8th. What needs to be released for Cancer, October 8th, please? What can be salvaged? What is there to be salvaged out of this situation, please? What can be salvaged? What needs to be forgiven for Cancer, please? Guys, I think I might... I'm not sure yet. What is in the grace, please? Too many guys, again. Huh. Let's see if it comes out middle of the deck. To, what is in the grace, please? Cancer, October 8th. Grace. What's the gift? The grace. The gratitude. What is in the grace? Cancer. What is in the grace? Yeah. Grace, please. Cancer, October 8th. Grace reading. Using grace, please. Grace, please. Come on, Cancer. You gotta have some gratitude in there somewhere. There's a gift in all this. There always is. Use a grace for Cancer, please. Wow. Now see, my traditional Rider-Waite tends to be stubborn, but this one not usually so much. Grace, please. I feel like there's maybe some struggle in seeing. And what needs to be worked on, please? What is the block there? What needs to be worked on? Worked through. Please, transformation, sweet rebirth. Yep, okay. Okay. Bottom of the deck. High Priestess in reverse. So you feel like something is being hidden, or it is being hidden from you. There may be some secrets being kept, or maybe you're keeping secrets from yourself, not telling yourself your inner truth. I do feel like this is primarily focused on a relationship, a connection. Even though there's not a lot of cups, there's pentacles and wands, or swords rather. What I'm getting is so what needs to be transformed? Ace of Pentacles and what's in the heart? Four of Swords. It needs to be released. Knight of Pentacles. What can be salvaged? Knight of Swords. And what is to be forgiven? Eight of Wands. Grace. Seven of Cups in reverse. And what needs to be worked through? Five of Cups. So what I'm getting out of this is there is a looking at a perception, a view of the external world, what you see. And this desire for stability and abundance, perhaps in a situation that either isn't in your highest good or isn't working out right now. And, you know, just a very strong desire. But with this being Pentacles, that would be very external. That would mean ego-based, fear-based, lack-based. Even though it's an Ace of Pentacles, it's what needs to be transformed, reborn, altered. The Four of Swords is a period of rest and rejuvenation. So maybe this situation is wearing you out. You're overthinking, spending too much time in your head, and just time to take your soul essence is saying take a break. Your heart energy is saying move away from this. This kind of thinking, this kind of belief system, to do something else. What needs to be released is the hope of an offer. That this will come in. And the reason being, we have two pentacles here. What needs to be transformed and what needs to be released. So what that tells me is that this is very external kind of perception, that this is an external hope. This is not a something that is true to your soul essence in the way that it's showing up for you. It's not to say that the situation isn't true to your soul essence. It might be. That's not what's showing. What's showing is far too much focus on what is occurring outside of you rather than what is occurring inside of you. What could be salvaged? Knight of Swords. Communication, rapid incoming communication. Now, this could be honesty with yourself, or communicating with, whether this is work or personal situation, family member, friend, doesn't matter. It feels like through a process of honest communication, that maybe something will alter. And I'm not saying it will, but there's a need to. There's a desire to communicate. There's a desire to be honest. There's a desire to go rushing in and tell somebody something, but it's also encouraging that you stay away from this particular conversation. You know, to, again, we're talking about something internal versus external. You want to share what is within. But again, you're speaking from an external space, from an external observation, perception. What needs to be forgiven? Eight of Wands is rapid movement. Very quickly coming in. There may be I may have to clarify that, guys. The one thing I don't like about the Eight of Wands is it's a movement towards or a movement away from. And this being in the what needs to be forgiven, So you've got two really fast-moving cards here. It may be that you told someone that you did speak your truth with someone, and it was not received or considered. But let me find out. This is maybe the second time I've had to clarify anything. I feel, I'm getting the energy like this is moving away from, but let me make sure, especially with the Seven of Cups in reversed, and then the Five of Cups, which is all about loss and sorrow and not recognizing what is. And one of the reasons I feel like this is more of a direct and personal connection rather than necessarily something at work, despite the wands, is because with the Five of Cups, you've got three here, right? And so the guy's mourning, the Three Cups tipped over, and then there's two behind. So it may be that there was a three-person situation, which then became a two-person situation, which is one of the reasons, and this is a lack of options. But I feel like that's more a lack of perspective, a lack of seeing things from enough points of view. So the Grace is, the Seven of Cups. And when these types of situations occur, it is for a lesson. So maybe if this is correct, and so there's this sorrow, there is a reason, and the reason is to move through this space. So this person would have, or maybe you, Cancer, made a decision, narrowed down the options, and came to this conclusion. So someone, is feeling this loss, is feeling this, suffering this pain. And sometimes we have to move through that, to get that new perspective. To not look at things from the external, but move through the emotions because they're a block. Pain is a block. And see things with fresh eyes after we get out of our head a bit. Eight of Wands in forgiveness, please. Tell me about the Eight of Wands in forgiveness. What is being moved toward or away from? What is being moved toward or away from, please? What is being moved toward or away from, please? I feel like it has to do with this High Priestess. What is being moved? King of Wands. Fire energy. All right, I think I get it. Wow. Okay. just pull one card, but on the bottom of the deck is the devil. So this may be the fire energy that I was picking up. And I kind of feel like this may be that person, either the person you're connected with, or maybe, you know, where it went from the 3 to the 2, it could be who you or they connected with. And so there is more of someone moved into this rather than towards water, Cancer. And there's a lack of understanding. And there's the Sun in reverse underneath the High Priestess in reverse. And I think there's a lack of understanding of reasoning and did not even think about it. But the Knight of Swords is headed straight towards the High Priestess in reverse. So wanting to come to some sort of answer. And again, that is all external. It's something you're seeing, not necessarily what is. And the High Priestess in reverse, a High Priestess in general is pretty much about divine guidance, divine timing. Things will be revealed in the right time. And pretty much feel like, you know, this could also be, what is it? What is High Priestess? I think either Libra or Sagittarius. No. Libra or Virgo, perhaps. I'm trying to remember. But this could also be that energy, whichever it is. We'll say Libra, just in case. And having moved away from without reason or justification, perhaps, and there's a not knowing, and wanting to rush in and get this information. But this is, again, this is all external perception, view, you know, based on a decision, not a lack of options, but there having been options and having already chosen. And that's caused Cancer to be in a state of pain. And it could be the other person as well, as this is turning out to be a connection reading. But either way, it is a time to get out of the head, to get out of this external, stop wondering and worrying. You may, you know, have this communication with this other person or other situation. I do feel like, even though it's not showing up, a certain level of proprietary caution. They're probably not going to tell you what you want to know, to be honest. You know, so there's a level of acceptance, and this is your work to move through this pain this sense of loss. You know, and you know, the other challenge is really to just stop being in your head so much about it. You know, stop looking at what is on the outside. With the High Priestess here, reversed or otherwise, I would say that there's still an element of divine guidance involved. Everything that is exactly the way it's supposed to be. So even if we don't necessarily understand the reason, and maybe you're asking the universe, God, source, spirit, for guidance, for information, you're not going to get that either. Because part of it are these two lessons right here. So, yeah, that's it, Cancer. Hopefully that helps a little bit. You know, just, it's a tough place to be when things don't go the way we think they're supposed to. I think there's plenty of that. But that's the nature of life in general, you know, whether you're on a spiritual path or not. You know, we want something to go our way, and we get mixed information. We see what's on the outside, we go with that, and unfortunately, that influences our ability to co-create and to manifest our desires. So I would encourage any Cancers that might be going through that, or anyone else for that matter, to try to move into a space of recognizing that there is a reason that everything happens, and it is for you to learn something and to attempt, as hard as it may sound, to find gratitude in those lessons. You may not emotionally connect with it for a while, but, you know, try to see how, once you've gotten the lesson, once you've learned how to move through, you will be a more whole and complete self within. So I hope that helps. All right, Leos. Let's see what you guys got going on. Let's see if that comes out. All right, Leos. Wow, okay. You guys are coming in pretty strong. I'm seeing it's an interesting visual. It's like a really high skateboard, really high and steep skateboard wall peak thing. Sorry, I'm not a skateboarder. I don't know what it's actually called. And it's like you're trying to go up it, like at a vertical kind of angle, but of course you just keep going, and you just keep getting this momentum. You try and get this momentum, and I feel like Leos being Leos, there's this stubborn effort and trying to get to the top of this thing, I guess, so you can get over the other side. but you just keep sliding right back down, keep sliding right back down. And it's kind of exhausting just to watch, really. But there's a determination there, for sure. There's also kind of a getting tired. You know, but that determination, that stubbornness is keeping you trying again and again and again and again. Not too dissimilar from Cancer. Maybe there's something that is intended to just put the skateboard down, sit down, and instead of seeing this pike as something to conquer, to get over, to get past, to get beyond, just get into a state of acceptance with where you are in the moment. Yeah, I feel like if you do that pike, whatever it represents, will sort of lower, it will dissolve. I don't know if it'll dissolve completely, but I am kind of seeing it sort of melt just by sitting and going within. So it may be an illusion that you're trying to overcome or conquer, so we'll find out. Leo, what needs to be reborn, transformed, reverse? What is in the heart space, soul essence, higher self? What are messages from the heart space? Higher self, authentic desire, goes again, this time in reverse. Yeah. A lot of the same energy. Maybe there's a lot of Cancer, Leo, cuspers or risings or something along those lines. Release. Ask me, please. What needs to be released by Leo, please? Either that or Cancers and Leos are resonating on a very similar collective vibration. What needs to be released, please? Wow. I don't feel like that's right. That's a 7 of Cups again. What needs to be released by Leo, please? And if it is intended, then it'll come back out. Yeah, I don't think so. Ooh. What can be salvaged? Wow. What is to be forgiven or needs forgiveness? Or 2. What needs forgiveness, please? Yeah. Okay. Wow. Grace for Leo, please. Dr. Ray, Grace, please. grace, please, for Leo. October 8th, and grace, energy, gift. Please, for gratitude. You and Cancer both. Oh my gosh. Grace, please. Thank you. Queen of Wands. And what is the work? If I'm on the right path, the work, the block, the barrier. That's exactly what I saw. Work, block, barrier. What's the barrier? What's the work? What would you only get to for this transformation? Two. Yeah, I think that's appropriate too. All right, guys. Bottom of the deck. Devil. That could be that stubbornness, that ego, that getting in your own way. It can be an addiction. It can be any number of things that are not serving in your highest good. And it pretty much all shows up right here. Hangman in reverse. That's a stall or not changing perspective, not being able to move forward because of a certain level of stuckness. That pike, just keep going right back down. And I'm actually going to go over here to what can be salvaged and what's to be forgiven, because that is exactly what I was just saying with the pike. So this Seven of Wands, that is standing your ground, but it's an exhaustion. It's a, I'm still fighting. I'm stubbornly going to battle this situation until I win, damn it. But there's a drain, there's an exhaustion to it. So it says continued efforts to try and get up that pike. And what can be salvaged is, frankly, yourself, by yourself. See, it's just you. Wands is fire energy. And here, there's 6 other wands that you're trying to combat and win against, which I feel like maybe this devil energy here. Fighting with yourself, fighting with your, you know, kind of a self-sabotage sort of engagement. What's in the heart space, the essence, Ace of Pentacles in reverse, again, that is a in this particular case, usually Ace of Pentacles upright would be an abundant new beginning. Okay. I feel like in this case, it's somewhere within you, there's a recognition that what you think you see isn't what is. So let's say you were actually in like a skate park and you saw this wall, this pike, whatever those are called, those bowls. And it looks solid, it looks real, it looks, you know, it's concrete. You can skate on it, you can skate down it, around it, walk on it, touch it. But because it's on the external, right? But that's an illusion. It's not actually there. So if you get into this space, guess what? What needs to be released? Page of Pentacles is a coming in of an offer of some kind. A gift, maybe an apology, could be. Usually it's more the Page of Swords. It's more of an apology, communication. But there is some kind of offering, external offering. Well, you're standing right in front of the offering. And it's not rendering any results. And I think there's a frustration about that, which is why you keep trying to conquer it, which is all ego, stubbornness, trying to override what is within, the need to go within, because what can be salvaged is yourself, your grace, basically your own energy, your own inner self. Queen of Wands is very balanced in her energy. All the queens are, except the Queen of Swords, maybe. The other three queens are. Upright, they're pretty balanced, and they represent their own representative energy, in this case fire. And passionate, compassionate, maternal, someone driven. So, you know, fire energy has a lot of positive qualities. So get in touch with those is basically what I'm getting. Rather than the barrier qualities like that stubbornness. What is to be worked through? Getting in your own way. Not listening to yourself. Ace of Wands in reverse and Knight of Swords moving away from. You're not connecting with you. So it's kind of interesting that what needs to be worked through is this lack of connection with self, and yet your grace is yourself. So, you know, what is said about everything you need is within. That's what this is. What you need is within you. It is not in the external material, what you see, what you perceive, what you notice with your five senses. And the only thing that ever gets in any of our way, any of us, is this right here. This is the only block to anything we ever want to achieve ourselves. Our inner demons, our inner shadows, our fears, our doubts, our addictions, our insecurities. That's what the devil energy is all about. And that is our only block. And it is always within. It is not external. It is internal. The block needs to be forgiven because you're wasting an awful lot of energy instead of just going within and contemplating self and getting in touch with the self at your highest level, getting into this energy instead of this energy. Which this shows up right here. So Leos, hopefully that helps. Mercury in retrograde is definitely being very transformative, going within, clean up your stuff, kind of turn this time. Been very heavy. But I'll be honest, the summer one, this is getting to be higher level, deeper. Whereas the summer one I find to be far more explosive, intense, differently. But that's it for Leo. Hopefully that helps you move through where you're at and you get off that bike and just sit your butt down for a little bit and connect with you rather than paying attention to what's outside of you. Because what's outside of you, that's what's getting in your way. You know, you're focusing on that instead of what's within, which focus on what's within, inside, not outside. You know, a lot of us, Leo rising, a lot of fire energy, even though water, right, sun sign. I do the exact same thing. That fire energy can be very demanding and very, very externally focused and very in the head focused. Clear the mind. You know, like the Cancer, learn to allow. So, that is not my situation, fortunately. But I have been in that space. So learning to release and allow the external is definitely a challenge. Because we do perceive with our five senses, so it all feels far more real than what is within. But we do create our own reality. What we see, what we perceive, how we interpret things, that hanged man, reverse perception, hanged man, either way. That is what keeps us from seeing the truth of things as they are. Because we have inherent bias, you know? Part of ego. All right, on to Virgo. Enough lecturing, guys. Virgos, how are you guys feeling? Ooh, you guys may be getting hit hard right now by Mercury. I don't know why I feel that. Really heavy. Y'all have had great readings, but today it's feeling like WWF SmackDown kind of energy. So there may be some Virgos going through major transformation, growth, going within, feeling a lot of past trauma, maybe. And it's just surfacing like a fiend. That's what I'm feeling. Let's see what the cards have to say. Alright, Virgo. Yeah, I'm getting like cartoony anvil drops, Virgos. So maybe there's, since it's kind of cartoony, maybe there's some maturity, some development, some in more ways. Like a different level of maturity coming in. based on this heaviness being cleared. But we'll find out. Virgo. Alright, what areas need transformation and need rebirth for Virgo? Got 2. Huh? Pentacle energy, guys. Oh, you know, it just occurs to me that maybe that's due to COVID and a lot of people focusing so much on the external due to finances and whatnot. All right, what is in the essence energy of heart space? Wow. King of Pentacles. A lot of Pentacles. Wow. All right. What needs to be released for Virgo? 2 again. Oh, yeah. That's what I said. Interesting. Okay. What can be salvaged? Yeah, I'm definitely picking up on a healing group here. There are ones that are getting ready to start a healing journey. And what needs forgiven, or to be forgiven, what needs forgiveness, and or from, what needs forgiven, for Virgo, please, October 8th, forgiveness. Grace for Virgo, please. Grace for Virgo. What is the work, please, for Virgo? What is the work? Work. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of healing energy going on. Bottom of the deck, Empress. All 4 queens in 1, the ultimate feminine. Wow. All right. So, what needs to be transformed is this idea that someone took away your happiness, your ultimate abundance. I feel like this is a very victim energy. That someone actually took away your ability to be stable, independent, have a happy home, family. 10 of Pentacles is all about the home and the family unit. It could be work related as well. But the problem here is this Page of Pentacles in reverse, offering, bringing in a gift. So you feel like someone took this away from you, took away your opportunity to have that stability and to have that kind of ultimate fulfillment. What's in the essence, the heart energy? To be the King of Pentacles, which is extremely stable, very fair, family man, very family oriented. So we have two family based cards here. King of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles are both family based. So, you know, you want this Ten of Pentacles and you want to have this very balanced, very grounded reality. You know, the happy home and work and everything is equal and fair, and very practical. So there's three pentacles here, which is again all external. And what needs to be released? Deep, deep, deep emotional pain. Very deep emotional pain. To have the Three of Swords and the Queen of Cups come out in reverse. Queen of Cups in reverse is somebody who is too caught up in their emotions, who is codependent, who is very emotionally overwhelmed. The Three of Swords is, of course, heartbreak in this case. Sometimes I see it as being, you know, the head being in the way of the heart. That could also be applied here with these three pentacles. But this is a call to go through this pain, this trauma. I would, if there could be any other trauma set, I mean, this is like it right here. And if this is the case for this particular group of Virgos, don't do this alone. For your emotional, psychological well-being, you know, go talk to someone, make sure you're safe, because this is a lot of pain, and a lot of pain can be very difficult and very challenging to deal with. Do not do it alone. Make sure you have the appropriate support. What can be salvaged? Some sense of inner peace. Yeah. Being able to rest yourself from your thoughts and your regrets, your doubts, your fears, without the anxiety. Swords can be very anxious, provoking. Thoughts can be very anxious, provoking. So this is like getting to a point of peace enough that you can actually get a good night's sleep without these swords sitting firmly on the wall being a real threat, unlike the Nine of Swords. Being able to just rest, finally, out of this space and out of this blame that someone took something away from you. The only person that can give to us is us. What needs to be forgiven? A lot, actually. This is Five of Swords. It's upright. It's a very sneaky, manipulative, conquering, you know, just kind of somebody that's a bully, a jerk, you know. He basically kind of fights these other two people, probably sets a bet. That's kind of the image. And, you know, just gets very smug. If you look, he's just got a very smug sort of look. Like, haha, I have your swords, Nina, you know, and kind of a juvenile bullying sort of way. And I feel like what needs to be forgiven is maybe, yeah, with this flame energy here, and someone took something away from you. It's kind of being repeated here, I feel like. And maybe there's some recognition that the victim became the victimizer. That maybe this same energy was given towards someone else in your life. And maybe there's some regret about that. And there's recognition. You know, I feel like there's not so much the opportunity for being, you know, this kind of overt bully, if you will, isn't available anymore, but maybe now there's recognition. And so there's a forgiveness of other and self. Yeah. Yeah. What's in grace? Two of Wands, which is usually, you know, the first couple steps towards something, the thoughts, the desire, the planning, and there are none. There's an uncertainty, maybe a stuckness, just maybe going through the day, going through the motions without really any plan, or any intentions or any drive. And how is this the grace? Well, I think recognition of this energy is the grace. The recognition that you cannot be in this energy, become this energy, and blame someone else when you're staying in this energy. That is what you are doing to self. Recognition that you cannot make your happiness someone else's responsibility. That is work you need to do. And in fact, what needs to be worked through? Doing the work. Doing the work to stop blaming, to stop being stagnant, in order to get here. And the stagnation, I feel like, comes from here, this trauma. And bottom of the deck is the Empress. So the Empress is also somebody who is very self-aware. I mean, deeply self-aware, not just in the head. They're aware in the emotions. She is the balanced feminine energy. A creator, a collaborator, someone who gives birth to new ideas, to new life, to new achievements, to new thoughts, feelings, healing, you name it. So all of these energies kind of encompass Empress energy, especially this healing. And I feel like the Empress is showing up, and beneath that strength, I feel like this is encouragement. This is a major arcana card, and I feel like this is encouragement that you have within you the ability, and it's a protection, it's a guidance, that you do have the ability to get through this and deal with all of these other issues of blame and stagnation and wanting to harvest gains. I said it's doing the work, but you do have to do the work before you can do the harvest. You can't harvest nothing from nothing. You have to do this first before you get to this. You know, if you want to have the gains, you have to be willing to do the work. And this is kind of a waiting for the results, waiting for the harvest to come in, and wanting to make that happen, you know? So I apologize, guys. My music went off, and I'm trying to get it back. So you have to invest. You have to invest in yourself. And be willing to do the difficult things that's needed in order to have that fulfillment. Because nobody took it away from you. They can't. Nobody can take this away from you. If you don't have it, if there are blocks, they are self-created. You put them there. So you put them there with actions like this. And by not being willing to take those steps to plan and move forward and deal with the things within that need to be dealt with. So Virgos, I hope that helps, and that you are successful in your journey. Obviously, you are guided and protected, and you do have the ability within yourselves. It can be difficult. So make sure, like I said, that you get the support that is needed in order to move forward with that. Because that is a lot of emotional pain. But it'll free you up to rest. It'll free yourself up to get that undisturbed sleep for the first time in who knows how long. So now I move on to Libra. There. Libras. I apparently have some kind of energetic affinity for Libras. I don't know what the deal is. Justice, balance, communication. Maybe that has something to do with it. Well, that was interesting. Libra, it seems like you may be joining Cancer and Leo. This, I got, you guys came in fast. Basically a plexiglass or glass window, door, wall, and bird, and just the, very similar to Leo, just running into the glass over and over again. Like you're gonna get through. You can see, obviously you can see what's on the other side. And there's this drive to get to the other side. Unlike Leo, they couldn't see what's on the other side. There was just this pulled up. And just this, you want what's on the other side. But there's a, I guess maybe an unseen barrier or a refusal to recognize. Because you can see it. You know what you're going for. Or that it's somewhere on the other side. You can kind of see in, get a sense of it. And just keep trying to force your way in, and it's not working. Let's see what the cards have to say for Libra. Okay. That means rebirth, transformation, development. And what is in, wow. Okay. You guys are talkative. What needs to be released? Yeah, okay. Some energies are very clear. What can be salvaged? What can be salvaged from this situation? I'm going to have to clarify that. That's intense. Why that's been salvaged. What needs to be forgiven? And what is the grace for Libra? Wow. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to clarify that in reverse. Salvage. Oh, okay. I think I get it. Yeah, I get it. Never mind, no I don't. What is the work for Libra? Where is the black? Alrighty. Alright, bottom of the deck. Sun in reverse. Happiest card in the deck, upside down. So somebody's not living their most fulfilled life. They could be happier, a lot happier, and they are not. I feel like this is somebody that is in pursuit of happiness and fulfillment and abundance, because it came out, but it's in reverse. So it's not there right now, but they're looking for it. And that may be part of the problem, is that it's being looked for rather than just being allowed to come in. And I'm actually getting that there's a lack of allowance. So what needs to be transformed? You would think moving into calmer waters would be it. However, in this case, feeling like those 6 swords are being taken with you, the stress, the anxiety. So there's a looking and seeking of peace, but you're still taking your shit with you. So you haven't actually let it go. You're moving along, but you're still taking all your shit with you. So that's what needs to be transformed. And of course, what is in the heart energy? 4 of Pentacles reverse. Let it go. Let it go. Whatever is in the material, whatever is in the outside, let it go. This is external. Again, Pentacles, earth energy. That is always the material world. What we see, hear, smell, touch, want from the outside view. It is perspective. Oh, I want to go get a new car. Well, you might want to go get a new car, but how are you manifesting that energetically? Are you attached to the idea? Or are you going within and connecting with the abundance that you already have? Valuing and appreciating, and therefore attracting and manifesting more abundance. So this is a holding on to, your things, your ideas, your concept, anything that isn't at the soul level. And your soul's saying, let it go. So, pretty easy. What needs to be released? King of Swords. Some see this as Libra energy. And this is a lack of inner truth, not being true to yourself, not being honest with yourself, maybe not being honest with others, and not being decisive, not being clear-cut, not being able to move forward in honest action and words because you don't know what the hell they are. Why? Because you're taking your shit with you. You need to let it go. What can be salvaged? The Emperor in reverse. Okay, so at first I was very concerned about this, because the Emperor in reverse can be some really nasty energy. But in this particular reading, and the energy I'm getting off of it, is it really has more to do with this Sun in reverse and the Hierophant in reverse. 3 major arcanas right here, all in reverse. So that basically means that energy is present and it's available. It's just not being accessed. It's within you. And this is, the Emperor, like the Empress, is all 4 kings. It is a very balanced, equal, powerful energy within. It is coming into the highest self on the masculine side. The Empress is on the feminine side, of course. We have both energies within. So this is someone that is not connecting with themselves at the highest level. Somebody that could be rejecting it, turning it away, denying it. It is not treating the self the way that the self is asking for, demanding, really, because at the Emperor level, you know, that's a pretty powerful energy that is saying, we need to get our shit together. So this is really getting out of that ego space. And this Emperor in reverse right here is because of this taking your crap with you, not letting it go, not being honest with yourself, and guess what? Not listening to your guides, not listening to the higher powers, not listening to your higher self, not listening to your soul, to your heart. I mean, it's all right here. I mean, in your soul energy, your heart energy is saying, let it go. What needs to be transformed? Let it go. Emperor. Let it go. So I already went over that, the Hierophant, and, you know, this could be seen as a concrete, more concrete, someone that is very, very selfish, self-serving, manipulative, and has, you know, lost a legal battle in some way or has just ended one, and that is creating a whole lot of issues. That's not the energy I get, quite frankly. I mean, that could be roped into all of this because it can very much manifest in the external world. And that's why there's this not so happy, you know, because part of our happiness within manifests outside of us. So whatever is manifesting outside is a result of what is inside, and you're not as happy as you could be. You're not as happy as you want to be. It's there, but it's blocked right now. In your grace, 3 of Cups. No, because this is not a relationship reading. This is not third party. This is celebration. This is reward. It could be some type of reunion. It could be about connecting with your emotional body. And that actually shows up here, the King of Cups in reverse. So that could be a water sign. This part could be relationship based, that these things are not occurring. This reunion or reconciliation with someone that is loved is because you're not connected with your own emotions, and a lot of it is because of this not knowing what the hell you want. And you don't know what you want because you're not listening to your highest inner self. So all of this is, so this is waiting, this is available, this is present for you. This could also be about reunion with yourself, with your balancing energies. So obviously there is a lot of outward focus, I feel a lot of external energy, more pentacle energy really, and this is what's waiting within. So whether it is internal or external, what is within will manifest outwardly. So this is there, along with, imagine this 3 of Cups, which is reconciliation with self. Let's say it's yourself. And you change all of your energy and do what you're supposed to do. You are going to listen to your higher self. You're going to, actually, let me do this. Be decisive. You're going to know what you want. You're going to know what to pursue. You're going to let go of the superficial and the mundane and the meaningless. You are going to become the emperor, and you are going to have ultimate joy in your life. This is the energy that is present for you. But right now, it's not accessible to you. It's there, but you definitely have some work to do in order to get to it. And this, if this is something outside of you, something external, relationship opportunity that could lead to this ultimate bliss, you are not going to have access to it until. But it's there. It's right in front of you. The work. King of Cups in reverse, another water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And this is about you, though. That emotional body connecting with that inner knowing. Our intuition is driven in large part, but not completely, by emotion. And until we clear and open that space and allow ourselves to get out of our heads, and more into our emotions, which balances the head and heart, and listen to our intuition, listen to our higher selves, listen to the calling of our heart. Sorry. We're going to stay stuck. We're going to stay stuck in this less than energy, rather than in the ultimate self energy. So it's up to you guys. I mean, it's here, Libras. I mean, this is an amazing, amazing opportunity here for you guys. I mean, I haven't seen a spread with this much potential in a really long time, but it's up to you. It really is. It's all about choice. You can stay in this burdened fear where you're dragging your shit everywhere you go, and you can keep holding on to it. Or you can do what your soul asks and let it go. And listen to your higher self, listen to your intuition, and follow that, rather than letting, you know, your whatever fear you have, whatever is holding you back, whatever your lack of honesty with yourself is, and therefore probably others. You know, you can stay here. You're more than welcome to. Or you can have that as that. Choices. All the readings, all of them are all about choice. Every time, without fail. You always have an option. So, Libras, that concludes your reading for today, October 8th. Your next one, along with everyone else, will probably be next week. It's Thursday. Yes. So moving on to Scorpio. Scorpios. Let's see what you guys have. Are you going to talk to me today, Scorps? Ooh. Hold on, Scorpios. Scorpios, I am getting kind of a toe dipping. Actually, the imagery is, you know, typical Scorpio, like Scorpion. Kind of a scuttling out of the daytime cave and kind of checking things out, scuttling back in, checking things out, scuttling back in. So there may be some testing the waters and some kind of new experience or energy or environment. I'm not real sure. I'm not getting anything clear as far as what it might be about. So it could be anything. There could be just something new showing up and you're just kind of, you know, checking it out before you get too far away from your comfort zone. And that's what I feel like. It's kind of a comfort zone testing. How uncomfortable is it? And kind of a building up a tolerance for that uncomfortableness, maybe. I don't know if it's career, if it's relationship, if it's general energy. No clue. It feels pretty broad. Like it's either energetic or sort of a whole life perspectives maybe. Yeah, it feels very kind of global for you. So I would propose maybe a perspective, a viewpoint, something that kind of one of those, you thought you always knew this, and now you're kind of going, maybe there's some room to look at this differently, and it's sort of just a checking out how it sits a few times before choosing to reject or accept. And it feels like there's no particular attachment to it either way. Just kind of there's an openness to it, but it is like so, your comfort zone is still your comfort zone. So you want to get to a point to try it on fully, but it's kind of, it's not familiar enough to really stay in it. Like you feel like you might get lost or you might get unsafe in it. So you're kind of trying it out, going a little bit further, coming back, trying it out, staying longer, pulling back in. So, and it does feel like it's something very, very broad. But we'll see. All right, Scorpio. What is it that needs transformation? And you may be moving into that with that whole testing something new. All right, what is in the current energy? Cat of Pentacles today. I know other readers have been getting tons of Pentacle energy too. What needs to be released? Interesting. What needs to be released? And what can be salvaged? And what needs forgiveness? Oh, you guys are getting it all here. There's no wands really here. Yeah. What needs forgiveness? You know, what is in grace for Scorpio? Oh, you guys are... Yeah. I'm going to look a little deeper into that. I think that may be a challenge for Scorpio, so it might be helpful. And what is the work, please? Okay. Okay, I'm going to clarify that. I'm going to get one more card for Strength came out in reverse for Grace, and I know why. I know what it's telling me, but let me get an advice card on Strength in reverse and Grace. Let me get an advice card for Strength or additional insight. What else can I tell Scorpio about the Strength in reverse? Okay. All right, bottom of the deck. Three Pentacles in reverse. So it's kind of lack of collaboration. I have a feeling it's with self. That's kind of the message I'm getting, really. I think this is really all internal. So, what needs to be transformed, reborn, is this energy of reaping what you sow. I'm, you know, waiting for this harvest. I'm looking for the fruits of my labor. This is the outcome I want. I feel like this is very outcome oriented, very practical, external based. Like, I've planted my seeds and now I'm waiting. And I mean, like, literally. I've planted the seeds of what I want to harvest. And now I'm just waiting for it to come to me. But it's material. What is in the soul and heart, the heart essence? Three of Cups. Reconciliation, I feel like. Again, it could be a third party if this were a relationship reading, especially with the Three of Pentacles in reverse. But even if, because the Three of Pentacles in reverse is as it is, rather than upright, even if it were a third party, you know, that's coming to an end. And bottom of the, underneath that, Tower reversed. So this is really, I feel like, reconciliation with the self, with the emotional body, with the heart, and all the aspects within, kind of like with the Libra and the Grace position, if you watch that. So maybe some of you Scorpios with this much crossover have Libra strongly in your chart, so you may want to check that out as well. And vice versa for, I should have said this, for those Libras that have Scorpio in their chart, but I didn't know what I was reading for. So, what needs to be released? It's lack of peace. There's peace and rest and inner balance missing. It may be even keeping you up at night. It's very stressful, very anxious, provoking. It's just not resting your soul, really. It's not resting your mind. Might be resting your body, but everything else within is kind of high strung. And I feel like this is an attempt to control things, but there's a weariness there by now. What can be salvaged? Eight of Swords is typically about self-sabotage. Because, you know, she has all the tools she needs to get out of her bindings, to get out of her state of entrapment. I also see this as an intuition card, getting out of the head. So even though she can't see or necessarily move, if she used some higher level senses, she would be able to figure out how to get herself unstuck. She would sense the something around her, even if not what necessarily. There's also, you know, this standing still. You know, if you move about, even her feet aren't bound. You know, and all she has to do is take a few steps forward and she's out of that cage of swords, or a few steps back or to the side, and boom, there's a blade. You can untie yourself. So there's a lot of opportunities here to free oneself, which is why it's also a self-sabotage card. But I also see it as a lack of using our other senses. There's an assumption based on strictly the external, what we can taste, touch, hear, feel. We have more than that. A lot more. So it's a call to kind of connect with those, I feel like. And by not, that's what's kind of keeping you trapped in this other swords energy of exhaustion. What needs to be forgiven? Empress in reverse. I feel like this is, you know, your feminine energy, which is tied to emotion, abundance, nurturance. And so I feel like this is really more about self-forgiveness. I feel like there's some kind of intuitive recognition, even if there's not a acknowledgement or admission that there's been a lack of your full presence, perhaps, a full connection with self. Therefore, there's an inability to fully connect with someone else on this kind of level, on this intuitive, emotional, co-creating, co-balancing. This could be a very codependent kind of energy. This could be something that is so based in these externals, these practical, these, I mean, there's not a whole lot of emotional connection here. That's for a specific friend. You know, you've got the swords here, which is the mind. So there's what your heart wants and what you need to forgive yourself for, but it's very easy to ignore and be blind to those. So what is your grace? In this reading, strength in reverse, vulnerability. Because the card is here, that means that ability exists. Access it, tap into it. So I pulled another card, you know, to kind of clarify, and it is the Nine of Wands in reverse. And that is about upright. You see the weariness. It's kind of this just exhausted, again, weariness, but it says standing your ground. This wanting to keep moving forward and keep doing whatever it is you're doing to fight for what you believe in, what you want, what you desire, the outcomes you want. It's also a very controlling kind of energy. When you're that exhausted, here it is repeated right here. You should take a break. But your energy is the Four of Swords in reverse. And now we have it in the Nine of Swords in reverse. Which is your grace is to stop fighting against it, to allow yourself to be open and vulnerable, to put down the wands. These are both fire energy, by the way. And Scorpios are fixed, so yeah, Leo is fixed. Stop fighting it. Yeah, I think there's a resistance to this vulnerability because it can feel very, and maybe that's what you're testing. Maybe that's what you're trying out, is to listen to this emotional space, which can be very uncomfortable for some people. If you're not accustomed to allowing the free flow of emotion, if you're used to controlling, if you're used to harboring it, keeping it hidden, keeping it locked up behind bars, then to not connect with the self, much less others, because until we connect with ourselves, we can't connect with anyone else. And we can't create with the universe like this. This is all we can do is literally go out and buy shit. Creation is, co-creating is completely different. Co-creating is the manifestation of all your deepest desires. It's the wants not want, like, I want a new car, but the manifestation of your dreams, the real ones, the deep-seated ones that people tend to show aside as being impossible, but it's something they're very passionate about. The kinds of things you see on TV, you know? But you have to be able to connect with yourself first and balance the energies within. That's been the ongoing theme of the day. And work. Releasing the past, or a past connection, or attachment to something in the past, maybe forgiving. I feel like that is very tied in with the forgiving of the self, but this is a very, very past energy. I'm actually going to clarify that for you guys. See if I can get at least a little bit of insight on what that might be to help give you all some guidance. If there is something for it. If there isn't, then it's probably going to be just sort of random. For work, 6 of Cups in reverse, please. For Scorpio. Work for Scorpio, 6 of Cups in reverse. For Scorpio. Tell me a little bit about that. 6 of Cups in reverse. Can you tell me what this is about, please? Nothing comes out in two shuffles. Then I have to assume that the energy is just too scattered. There's too many scenarios. Tell me about the 6 of Cups in reverse, please. I'm not getting anything specific, to be honest, but something past connection, past situation, something that's been getting held on to a long time. Hierophant, in reverse, in the order. Okay, so this was the end of something major. Hierophant in the world, it was the end of a cycle, and very guided. Could have been a legal matter, could have been an eviction, a divorce, loss of a job. There's so many things that it could be, but here's kind of the good thing about this, because I feel like this is very tied into the rest of this reading as far as what the work is. These are major arcanas. That means whatever it was, whether it was a loss of a home, a job, a family member, a relationship, something in the past that had, potentially a legal outcome, or it could have been, something pertaining to a Taurus. It's hard to say. I feel like it's more about an inner truth and being a legal. I feel like it's more material than that. More 3D than spiritual. This was meant to happen. Whatever the end here was, even if it was a legal matter that wasn't won, perhaps, it's for whoever this was about, whoever this was involving, whether it was yourself or someone close to you, whether it's this past person that you're connected with, whatever it is, this ending was very, very guided and very, very intended. Whatever was needed from that situation, circumstance, relationship had come to its natural conclusion. So what that says to me is that it was in the highest and greatest good for all involved for this situation to end. Whatever it was. The situation itself may not have seemed, felt like, looked like, been experienced as being positive, but in the overall, highest and greatest good goes beyond the moment. So it's that long term that allows something that wasn't present. When something ends and it drags out and drags out and drags out, it causes a lot of pain and suffering. Whereas when endings manifest the way they're supposed to in a timely fashion, then, you know, of course, there's the process of healing if it's an undesired end. But it leads to greater gains for all parties later. So whatever this past situation is that's been getting held on to, maybe that'll help you a little bit to process through, to release it, and allow yourself to gain some peace with that situation. So Scorpio, that's it for today, October 8th. I hope that is helpful to you. I hope you're able to move forward in this situation and get whatever it is you need for a healthier, happier, and more fulfilling life. And moving on to Sagittarius. You know, I need to start making a note of what the topics for each are, because that would be very helpful for people. What do you guys think? Leave a comment, let me know what you think, to have a, you know, along with the timestamps, some general gist, because, you know, I don't remember really the readings after they're done. I'm feeling so much energy by the time I'm done just with the half of it. Yeah, I'm kind of mush. So I have absolutely no recollection whatsoever after the fact. I have no idea what has come through. And I don't know how much of it is really channeling and how much of it is just an energetic drain. You know, when I first started in tarot and people were talking about how draining it was, I really did not believe it. I didn't really understand what all takes place. And then as the abilities came and grew, it's like, oh, yeah, now I get it. And it is. If you decide to pick up reading and you are psychic, intuitive, and you're not just reading them straight on, trust me, it can kind of suck you dry. This is why I've broken up into 6, each group every other day. So. Alright, Saggies. What have you got for me? Coffee first. Alright. So I'm getting, this is is the first time today this has happened. I am getting 5 of Pentacles, I think in reverse, Sagittarius, which would be coming in out of the cold. So maybe a situation or circumstance is getting ready to change. Maybe an offer is coming in for something you've waited for. And I'm getting I'm getting split energy about that, if that's what comes through. I'm getting a split energy as, you know, some may accept that offer, some may not. You know, like, if you are out in the cold, then whatever the situation is that got you there, you may decide it's not worth accepting at this point. You may decide that it is. So we'll see what shows up in the cards, but there is a group of you that maybe something ended somewhat recently, and you felt very displaced, rejected, dejected kind of thing, abandoned perhaps. And if for that group, if it does not show up in the reading, I am feeling like that situation is going to change. Now, I don't know, is it going to be the same situation, offering a second, you know, coming back and offering, or a new situation? That I couldn't tell you. It's probably different for each of you. You know, for some people it might be a relationship situation. For some people it could be an employer. And instead of the prior employer, it's a series of new employees. It could be a new love coming in, where someone else basically gave you the boot. But whatever it is that ended, it does look like something is going to change that situation. Now, again, it may not be the same exact situation, but it's going to be something comparative. You know, like if it's a job, then it's going to be a new set of jobs offerings. If it's relationship, it's going to be new opportunities coming in. It could be the old person coming back. But you will have the choice, and I would say use your discernment. Do what is healthiest for you, either way, and we'll see what the cards show up. You will feel vindicated, either way. So that is an ego sentiment. So definitely use some caution with that. You know, it's okay to feel like justice has been served. That's perfectly fine. But be cautious of how far you take that within. There's a difference between justice being served and being, I guess, kind of, haha, neener, I got what I wanted anyway. You know, that kind of juvenile, haughty, cocky sort of, I win. It's not a matter of winning or losing. It's a matter of the energy that's put out. So don't get in your own way by recognizing that justice and then taking it to the point of going over the top. So I don't know that you guys need that, Sagittarius, but there may be someone out there that needs a reminder that it would benefit them. Because, you know, for some people, being left out in the cold, being rejected about something could hurt enough that the vindication can get a little carried away with. So maybe somebody just kind of needs, there's a mosquito in here. All life is sacred except for mosquitoes and ticks, June bugs, cockroaches. There's a few exceptions. Sorry. So, Sagittarius. What needs to be transformed? For some of you, obviously, it's coming cold. But what in your energy needs to be transformed, rebirth? Ooh. Kind of goes to, I don't know if it's about, but heartbreak. Or it could be, you know, head getting in the way of heart. We'll see. But kind of goes back to that being left out in the cold and sometimes that rejection feeling painful. And it bit me. Hardly. Soul energy. What is in the heart essence? Soul energy, the authentic desire to allow this person to move forward into their desire. Desires. What is in the heart essence? Sagittarius. Wow. Of course, you're still being in a state of pain, so give me the essence, give me the soul energy. What is soul energy for Sagittarius during this time? What is the soul energy for Sagittarius? What is the soul energy for Sagittarius, please? And what needs to be released for Sagittarius? Go. Whoa. Got two. And it is salvaged. Okay. What needs forgiveness, please? What is the forgiveness energy there? What is forgiveness energy for Sagittarius? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's exactly what I was saying, guys. Grace. What is the grace for Sagittarius? What is the grace for Sagittarius? And what is the work going for their work that Sagittarius needs to overcome in order to get into their space? What is the work that Sagittarius needs to do in order to get into their space? So, what is all right. Open the deck, and we'll come back around to this one. King Cups. Water energy. Could be Scorpio, usually King Cups is Scorpio energy. Not necessarily. Could be any water energy. Could deal specifically with emotion only. But we will come back to this. This is pretty much what I was saying, guys. So, of course, what needs to be rebirthed from is definitely this heartache. What is in your essence, your soul energy, is, of course, manifestation of a new beginning. And what needs to be released. I cannot tell if this is necessarily in individual or work related, but we have letting go of, it is something external, letting go of the past in something that was perceived as balanced, fair, equal, that would bring in abundance and stability. So that was the perception of it, and it is something in the past. What can be salvaged? Knight of Pentacles. Now, I'm actually going to come back to this one because I feel the tie with another card. And what needs to be forgiven? Not having any choice. Not being given an option, much less multiple options. So I feel like you did not have anything to do with whatever it is that took place that ended this situation, circumstance. Again, I still don't know if it's a relationship or if it's work. It could be either. And it honestly, it doesn't matter because it's still the same thing. What is in grace is the Hermit. So this could be seen as very similar to the Five of Cups in reverse. It is the Hermit upright is going within, getting in spiritual connection with oneself. It is not isolating in the sense of being rejected. It is isolating for the purpose of having alone time with self. In reverse, it could be just the opposite, but in this case, I feel like it is coming out of a space of loneliness, of being alone, feeling abandoned, feeling like you've been left to your own devices. I think it's also about those around you that you know you can trust and support and will support you. And so you are not alone in this situation as far as having those to depend on and rely on. And I believe this also speaks to that offer coming in. And what needs to be worked on? This is where the Knight of Pentacles comes in as far as what can be salvaged. I think maybe part of this issue for you, Sagittarius, is a lack of boundaries. So what needs to be worked on is this imbalance giving more to one than the other. And I feel like you've actually learned from that. You are no longer coming in with these open offers. Make sure you stick to it. I think there's still more for you to learn. If you haven't learned it yet, then that may be the lesson that's coming in, or that you were in the process of learning, is to set the boundaries for yourself. Don't just give whatever you have to give. Use your discernment. That's not to say to judge people. It is to determine whether or not a situation, circumstance, or individuals in your life are in your highest and greatest good. They're actually going to bring balance to you in some way. And sometimes we do need imbalance in order to learn, which is exactly what has occurred here. So even though it's caused a lot of heartache and pain, this is an incredibly important lesson right here. And the good news is, bottom of the deck, King of Cups, which basically says that there is a coming out of this space with a new beginning within your emotions. Healing is taking place. Healing is occurring. You know, just make sure not to hold on to it and keep yourself stuck. And this is overall, Sagittarius, a very, very quick, straight to the point reading. Obviously, this situation did cause you a lot of pain, but you learned some very, very valuable lessons out of it. And I feel like it's really given you a lot of guidance on what you actually want for yourself with these new beginnings, what you're willing to give and receive, what you're willing to accept from others, and from yourself. And, you know, this whole thing was out of your control, but it's going to bring a greater level of inner balance emotionally to you, as well as this external balance. I think you're going to learn a lot about self-love and self-respect and self-regard. You know, there's a few major arcanas here: the World, the Hermit, and then you've got your court cards: Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, King of Cups. So, you know, this is actually a very solid, transformative, both within and externally. This is like the ideal reading for somebody who is a shadow worker. This is exactly what you want to see. You want to see this progression from this type of energy to these types of energies. And beneath that, stability, balance, equality. So this lesson in self-regard, self-respect, that's going to completely transform, I feel like, into the self-love. So even though the Ace of Cups is not here, which is often a filling your own cup, that self-love piece, you may have a little bit more work to do to get fully into that space. But even so, it's so close to go from here to here, and after that, find this stability. That is going to lead to that Ace of Cups very quickly. That inner fulfillment with yourself, that inner balance. And this here, that's self-respect, man. So, high five. This is a solid, good reading. Even though yeah, there's stuff to let go of. There's still healing to do. There's still pain to deal with. There's still this lack of knowing that you didn't have any control, and forgiving whatever came before that had this situation fall apart. But you have that all in the works. So just whatever you're doing to get through this, you know, the friends, family, whatever it is, if you're seeing a therapist, whatever it is you're doing, it's working. And so you may still be very much in this space and not see it yet, but your soul does. Your higher self does. So that ending also means beginnings. Those options are coming in. It might still take a little while for it to all manifest, for it to all show up. But it is coming in. Options. It's in reverse right now because this is a situation that's already occurred. And how to move through the heartache that is being experienced still from that. But because the options card is out, I'm a firm believer that if the energy isn't present, it will not show up. Even if it's in reverse, it just means it's not in front of us yet. So those options, those new beginnings, those opportunities, they're there. They're coming. They may already be present, they're just not manifested yet in your life, in your awareness. Because there's still some more stuff to get through here. In order to make sure that you do not inadvertently or accidentally, because the universe doesn't want us unhappy or miserable or in pain or suffering. We go through these things so that we can learn, so that we can stop those patterns. Because the universe doesn't want you to end up in this situation again. This imbalance, this disrespect, this disregard for your value and your worth. Because you are worthy. You are valuable. You do have what it needs, what is needed to bring to the table. But whatever this situation was, they did not see it. They didn't recognize it. And so this whole thing, whether it's a boss, a family member, a relationship, a friend, it doesn't matter. It wasn't recognized, and you were basically dumped in some way. And it caused a lot of pain. But that situation is over. You know, now it's just the processing and going through the emotional heartache and recognizing your value and your worth. Do not let this heartache, one, shut down your emotions. Do not do that. Okay? Because that will block these new beginnings that are coming in. I mean, I know it sucks. I know it hurts. But it will. It will block the new beginnings. It will block the options. It will turn everything that is heading your way. And this is what happens when we do the work. When we actually do the work and go through this experience and allow ourselves to learn and to move through, this is how the universe responds. Because we are literally transforming our energy at that point. We are taking a situation that causes pain and suffering and turning it into a beautiful beginning. With where we can choose and create and pick whatever we want. We're in our power. And you are doing that. You, Sagittarius, by experiencing and going through this, rather than rejecting it and denying it, you are allowing and you are literally manifesting all of this. You are creating this. And you are creating the space within yourself to be ready to receive. And that's an awesome thing. That's a beautiful thing. This is an amazing and beautiful reading, Sagittarius. It really is. So best to you. Lots of love, lots of compassion, lots of comfort. It's a hard space to be in. And when you have the opportunity, appreciate and value what you are learning, what that will bring you, and the way that you are taking care of your internal self, your emotional, spiritual, psychological well-being, to repress this kind of energy, to hide from it, to avoid it. You know, which some of you may be doing with the Hermit reverse. You may be avoiding it. But because the reading came out the way that it did, I don't feel like that's the case for the majority of you. For those of you that may be avoiding it, Pay attention. Pay attention to what you're not creating by avoiding. So allow the experience. And everything will begin anew. And it will be better than it would have been had that situation not fallen apart. So, it's all about choices, people. You can choose always to stay in a state of fear and denial and rejection of what you desire most. Or you can create it all in the space of love. Up to you. Blessings. See you next time.